It's like it's only Bahati. Anyone else apart from Bahati? Yes, anyone who can mention the cultural evolution stages? Yes, Bahati, go ahead.
We have 3 stages. We have Old Stone Age period, Middle Stone Age period, and New Stone Age period.
Excellent. That is good. So we discussed that in our previous class. We discussed stages of cultural evolution. Sometimes they are known as Stone Age period. Good. We also discussed about agriculture, and we mentioned 2 theories of agriculture. Anyone who can mention the 2 theories or one? Anyone else apart from Bahati? Anyone?
Hello.
Brian? Jeremiah, yes, go ahead.
We have diffusion theory and independent theory.
Excellent. Diffusion theory and independent theory. Then in our discussion, we also mentioned some of the early animals that were domesticated at home. Who can mention some of those animals? Ore?
Donkey.
Yes?
Yes, donkey. And
Donkey,
a dog.
good. And a dog, good. Chinese, good, Orere, that's good. Chinese? Yes, Chinese? Hello? Jeremiah, you want to say something? Okay. Now, kindly mute, Orere, mute. Thank you for those who have participated. Again, in our previous class, we discussed about some of the factors that led man to domesticate plants and animals. Maybe a quick recap on some of the factors that led to domestication of animals and crops by man. What are the factors? Some of the factors that led to domestication. Yes, Priscilla?
We have climate change.
Excellent. Climate change.
Alafu, we have the increase in human population.
Increase in human population that led to competition over hunting of animals and gathering of fruits and also veggies. Yes, Daniel. Thank you, Priscilla. Excellent. Daniel?
Yeah. We have also protection and security needs.
Yes. It was very insecure to go hunting.
The need for transportation and labor.
That one, not that much. Okay. Good, thank you. Orina? Or it's only land?
Yes, hunting and gathering was so tiresome.
Excellent. Hunting and gathering was so tiresome because one could hunt and gather the whole night. Excellent. Immaculate? Immaculate?
Animals like dog provided security for the man. So man wanted more security.
So he decided to domesticate dogs because he wanted security. What else? Now, yes, Kenneth. Yes, Kenneth.
The competition between man and animal for the food led to man to domesticate or to grow crops.
Excellent. Now, what that is very good. I'm very much impressed. Thank you. Yes, Dorcas, let Dorcas be the last one to contribute. Then we can move to the other section. Yes, Dorcas, please.
Some animals were used as a transportation means.
Now, that is a good point, but I want you guys to differentiate between the reasons why man decided to domesticate these animals and plants and the impact of domestication. When we talk about the impact of domestication, we are looking at the benefits of domesticating animals. Animals provide regular food supply to the people, such as meat and milk. Animals' skin are useful in terms of producing clothes and beddings. The hooves and the horns were used as a container or a drinking vessel for the people at home. Bones were used to make ornaments, needles, weapons, and etc. Yes, Oshini? Do you want to say something?
No.
It's either you mute or I'll remove you from the class. Thank you. Now we also have animals like camel and horses and donkeys, just like the way Dorcas has mentioned. The point that Dorcas has given us, it's more to do with the benefits of bringing these animals at home and also bringing these, creating gardens at home where you can plant these wild crops. The essence was to do what? To enable regular supply of food, and for animals, some animals were useful in terms of provision of security, in terms of having regular transport, especially when these people traveled over a long distance. They were able to have a transport through horses and donkeys. And at the same time, these oxen and donkeys were used for plowing the land, especially during cultivation period. So these are the benefits. Understand the benefits, and also you need to differentiate also with the reasons why man decided. What pushed him? Hunting and gathering became insecure. The climate change, the issue of competition, such points, they are very useful in analyzing the reasons why man decided to do what? To domesticate plants and animals. So today, very fast, I want us to look at development of metallurgy in different parts of the world. Development of metallurgy in different parts of the world. And I want us to focus in Africa. We shall focus on Africa. Let me focus in Africa. Development of metallurgy in Africa. Just give me a minute. Sorry, I want us to focus on the development of metallurgy in Africa. You can pick some few notes. These ones are a bit direct compared to the ones I gave you in regards to metallurgy in Africa. So pick some notes and write. Now, what is metallurgy? What is metallurgy? Metallurgy is the science and technology of extracting metals. Metallurgy is the science and technology of extracting metals from ores, and shaping them into tools, weapons, and ornaments. Metallurgy is the science and technology of extracting metals from ores and shaping them into tools, weapons, and ornaments. A good example is in various counties such as Migori, where we have gold deposits. When you go there, you'll be able to see the ores. Those ores, maybe in future, I don't know if it's possible. Maybe in future we can organize for an outing. I'm still thinking about it. Maybe we can discuss when you have a physical class. But when you go to places such as Migori, you'll be able to see the metal ores. These metal ores, people are busy excavating, extracting the gold deposits. After extracting this gold deposit, they are taken into the factory. They are sold into factories in Africa and outside Africa, where these gold deposits are shaped into ornaments, are shaped into weapons, are shaped into tools. And that's why when you take a keen look at the way women put on accessories, you'll realize they might put on a ring that is made out of gold, a chain that is made out of gold. It is as a result of metallurgy, the science and technology of doing what? Of extracting. It is very scientific. It requires a lot of technology. It requires machineries and etc. So that is metallurgy. Science and technology of extracting metals, ores, and shaping it into tools, weapons, and ornaments. Now in Africa, metallurgy developed very early, in the very early periods, in the ancient period. And in those ancient period, this metallurgy independently developed in various parts of Africa, independently, on its own. It developed to various parts of Africa. And some of the main metals that were extracted in Africa were such as copper, iron, gold, tin, and later bronze. Copper, iron, gold, tin, and later bronze. Now, and that was just my definition and a brief explanation. Let us look at the origin of metallurgy in Africa. The origin of metallurgy in Africa. The earliest metal used and extracted in Africa was copper metallurgy. The earliest metal used and extracted in Africa was copper metallurgy. And this is evidence in the following areas. Or this copper metal was found, the copper deposits. The copper deposit, of course, it is a metal, but let's use the copper deposits were found in the following places. Number one, Egypt. Number one, Egypt. Number one, Egypt. Number two, Nubian / Sudan. Number three, Central and Southern Africa. Central and Southern Africa. These metals were used to make tools. This copper metals were used to make tools, ornaments, containers, and in special cases, the copper metal was used as a trade good. especially in the setup of barter trade system. Trade good in the setup of barter trade system. The next metal is iron metallurgy. Iron metallurgy. Under iron metallurgy, there are two main theories that explain the emergence of iron technology in Africa. There are two main theories that explain the emergence of iron technology in Africa. We have number one, diffusion theory. Number one, diffusion theory. Under diffusion theory, it states that iron working came from the Near East into Africa. Iron working came from the Near East into Africa. It spread from the East to Africa. Number two is independent invention theory. Independent invention theory. In this theory, the main point is that the iron technology developed on its own. Iron technology developed on its own in various parts of Africa. Now we have the following areas or the following sites were known for having iron. Number one, we have Nigeria. Number two, we have the Great Lake region. In bracket, Uganda, Rwanda, and Tanzania. Number three, we have West Africa. Now, iron technology was important because it contributed to the revolutionization of agriculture. Iron technology was important as it contributed to revolutionization of agriculture, whereby tools were made out of iron. Weapons were made out of iron. These weapons were used in warfare, protecting the society from the enemies. Some of the tools and the weapons were used for hunting and etc. So iron was very important, especially in the field of agriculture, hunting, and warfare. Now, since we have looked at iron and copper, I want to give you an assignment in regards to the same. I want you to go and this is a question with illustration. This is an assignment with illustration. Discuss. Allow me to type. Let me type with illustration. Discuss the importance of metallurgy in the social, I'm typing social, comma, economic, and political organization of the ancient communities. When you answer that question, now you have answered everything about the topic metallurgy in Africa. Do that question. This is an assignment, not a cut, an assignment for you to think as you prepare for the examination. Good. Go think about that. Now, very quickly, I want us to delve into now understanding the next topic. The next topic. The next topic. The next topic, which deals with emergence of hunters and gatherers. Emergence of hunters and gatherers. Now, under emergence of hunters and gatherers communities in Kenya, you should note that first human beings to settle in Kenya were hunters and gatherers. You should note that the first human beings to settle in Kenya were hunters and gatherers. Maybe, class, you can tell me some of the earliest communities to settle in Kenya. Yes? Some of the earliest communities to settle in Kenya. Yes, Bahati?
We have the Dorobo, the Sanye.
Yeah, good. Dorobo and the Sanye. Excellent. I can see Ogiek, Edwin, Duncan. Biketi, Duncan. Now, maybe he doesn't know that he has raised his hand, but the earliest communities are those that you have mentioned. That is good, very good. And these communities practiced hunting and gathering. They survived by hunting animals, by fishing, and even gathering wild fruits, nuts, and roots. And these communities existed in Kenya during the Stone Age period, before the development of agriculture, before man living a settled life. And you remember the Stone Age period that I was talking about, the Old Stone Age, the Middle Stone Age, the New Stone Age. So when you see those, the communities you have mentioned, the Ogiek, the Robo, remember that these communities settled in Kenya during that particular periodization of Stone Age. And there is evidence concerning this that were derived from the archaeological findings. Evidence of tools, evidence of fossils and cave painting. Now, let's delve into understanding time and period. Hunters and gatherers in Kenya existed during a period known as Old Stone Age, the first period. That is Old Stone Age. Sometimes it is termed as Paleolithic. So, the hunters and gatherer communities in Kenya existed during Paleolithic and Mesolithic period. And they existed between 2.5 million and 10,000 years ago. They used to make simple tools and etc. So this is just a proof that they existed. And their lifestyle, how was their lifestyle in terms of food sources? They used to hunt wild animals like antelopes, buffaloes, and mammals. In terms of lifestyle, food sources, it was through hunting. And what were they hunting? They were hunting animals like antelopes, buffaloes, and small mammals. In terms of fishing, they were fishing in rivers and lakes. In terms of gathering, they were gathering wild fruits, nuts, roots, and edible plants. In terms of shelter, temporary structures like caves, rock shelters, or even huts were made from branches and leaves. That was their lifestyle. They didn't have a house. They were just living in a cave, in a rock shelter, in a simple hut that was made out of branches and leaves. In terms of mobility, they used to live a nomadic lifestyle. What do we mean by nomadic lifestyle? They used to move frequently from one place to another, and they were moving in search of food and water. In terms of tools and technology, they used stone tools to make hand axe. And also scrapers, blades, and arrowheads. So all these equipments that I've mentioned, hand axe, scrapers, blades, and arrowheads, were made out of stone. Number two, materials used. They used stones, bones, and woods. All these tools were used for hunting, cutting meat, scraping hides, and woodworking. In terms of social organization, these individuals, since they were moving from one place to another, since they were living a nomadic life, in terms of their social organization, they lived in a small group or band. They lived in a small group or band. And they were living in a small group or band because of security purposes. You know, when you live in a group, in case an enemy attacks, you are able to launch an attack, a counterattack. You are able to protect yourself against the enemies and wild animals. That's why they lived in small groups or bands. Another way in which they were organized socially is that they cooperated in hunting. Hunting was in form of cooperation. It was not an individualistic activity. It was a societal activity. A cooperation in hunting and sharing food was common. So they were living in a communism way, whereby they were living together, sharing food, cooperating in terms of hunting as a community, not as an individual. Number three, their leadership was informal. It was based on age and skills. Maybe the best hunter and etc. Such leadership skills. It was informal. It was not formal. We didn't have a chief. We didn't have a council of elder. No. Because these people were moving from one place to another. Whom will you head? And yet these people are moving throughout. So they were just identified based on skills. Leaders were identified informally based on skills and age. Now, in Kenya, sorry, maybe just let me mention this quickly. In Kenya, the evidence of existence of Ogiek and Dorobo as earliest communities can be pointed out in the following areas. Number one, Kubifora. Kubifora, where stone tools were found. Number two, Ologa Saile, where large deposits of Acholian tools were found. Ologa Saile, large deposit of Acholian tools were found. Ologa Saile, large deposit of Acholian tools were found. Number three, Nairobi National Park and Lake Turkana region. Good. Now, up to there, in terms of language, socially organized. In terms of language, they spoke similar language and etc. If it's Ogiek, they spoke Ogiek. In terms of marriage, how was their marriage? In terms of marriage and value and the family were highly valued among these communities, among the Ogiek and the Dorobo, the hunters and gatherers. And when a man and a wife lived together, at some point, that husband could go to hunt for so many weeks. And it's unfortunate that despite being a society that it has these norms, values, and etc. So when a man goes for a long time, for so many weeks, sometimes women were tempted to remarry. So that is the challenge that came with mobility. As they were moving from one place to another, hunting and gathering, their marriage was at risk. Most of the time, husbands could go for weeks. And when they went for weeks, some women, some wives could remarry because of desperation. Another important social organization is that the Dorobo, the Ogiek, they used to participate in rituals. They used to participate in rituals. For example, there was a blood brotherhood ritual that was performed by the Dorobo, between the Dorobo and the Gikuyu. So the Dorobo are the ones who initiated this blood brotherhood ritual. You can see they were also having their own spiritual life. Ritual is part of spiritual life. So they were having a spiritual life. I want us to look at the economic activity. The economic activity is very, very direct. They engaged in fishing, especially those who lived along the rivers and lakes. They lived by hunting and gathering animals and birds. They also gathered wild vegetables, fruits, honey, and fruits. I don't want to dwell into economic activity because we have discussed a lot about that. Politically, I just mentioned they didn't have any territory. They didn't have formal leaders, but they were only living in bands and camps for security purposes, and they could appoint someone to be a leader based on age and skills. Now, in terms of cases of Dorobo of Kenya and Tanzania, we have Dorobo. Each and every community has a, especially in Kenya, you'll find, oh, this is a Kipsigis Dorobo, oh, this is a Kalenjin Nandi Dorobo, this is a Sabaot, although this person is not a real Sabaot. He has, he looks like a Dorobo in a way, or Ogiek. So you can see that in each community we have the Dorobos or the Ogieks. Even in Tanzania, we have the Dorobo. They are scattered all over. And most of the time, these communities, they tend to live in what? They tend to live in the forest. Some live in river sources. For example, among the Kikuyu, they also have these people known as Athi people. These were the earliest people. They're just like the Dorobo and the Ogiek. They tend to live along the river banks and along the plains. So such tendencies and characteristics can only be identified among the Dorobo and the Ogiek and etc. We also seeing among the Maasai, we have the Torobo or the Torobo people or the Dorobo, depending on how you pronounce it. They tend to live among the Maasai. They have adopted a lot from the Maasai, but they are the Dorobo. They are the earliest people who settled in Kenya. We also have the El Molo, Mediak. Now, these early people, they are termed by different names. Like the Kipsigis, they term them as Dorobo. Maasai termed them as Dorobo. The Kikuyu term these early people, the Athi people, and etc. Now, this, the language, most of these Dorobo people, you need to know that most of them have been absorbed into cultures. Even it's like their community is going extinct. You'll realize that some of these Dorobo people, they even tend to speak they tend to speak Maasai because they have been absorbed. They have stayed and lived among the Maasai, so they have been absorbed by the Maasai. Some have been absorbed by the Gikuyu. Some have been absorbed by Kipsigis. Some Ogiek are bilingual. They can speak Kipsigis and Masai. So any their language it has gone extinct, in short. And etc. So up to there, you need to understand, I hope you have understood the Ogiek, the Dorobo people, and also note that these people, the Dorobo people, they maintained their traditional animistic religion. In fact, for them, they term God, they use the word Tororo for God. Tororo meaning God. And those who are living among the Nandis and Kipsigis, they tend to say Asis. And they have adopted that. These Ogiek have adopted that because of assimilation and etc. Now today I want us to look at, briefly, this is the last part that I want us to look at. The ancient civilization of Africa. Ancient civilization of Africa. Ancient civilization of Africa. Briefly. Yegon, is Yegon in class? Bahati,
Yes, Doctor.
did I give you this topic as a cut? Kindly confirm for me.
No, we don't have a cut. Any
No,
cut?
no, I gave cuts. I gave topics that you are supposed to discuss. Who is sure? Anyone, please? Where is Yegon?
Absent.
Oh, now, maybe can you mention the topics I gave you people to discuss? Kindly. Anyone? Just mention. Immaculate? Jeremiah, you want to say something?
Yes, Doctor. You see, we discuss among the group. We form 6 groups of 20 people.
Yes.
People, but as I confirm, we are more than we are around 180. So we can't manage to form 6 groups of 20. So we are confused up to now. They have not formed any group for any discussion.
No, just form group. But what about the topics? I have no problem with the groups. Just form based on how you want it.
Okay, we can form among as our students, or how we can cooperate.
You talk to Yegon, you discuss, then you see the best way to approach this.
Okay, Doctor, sir.
And what about topics? Are you able to remember the topics I gave you?
Maybe I can. No, I'm in Kibabi in the school using my, but I don't have my book around. But if I confirm in the book I wrote somewhere.
Who can confirm?
Diego can confirm, or Priscilla, because you tell them to write down the question.
Please go ahead. Priscilla?
I don't have those questions right now.
But I gave out. Cynthia?
Yes.
I gave out I gave topics. Yes, Oniland? Please go ahead.
Yes, Daktari.
You were saying something.
So, Daktari,
Yeah.
the problem is Yegon.
Yes.
He didn't communicate only into the group. The
Yes.
Daktari gave an assignment.
Yes.
He just told us that to form the group of 20 people without any communication. Yeah.
No problem. I'll share with you the assignments on your group. The good thing is that I'm in your group, so don't worry.
Okay, sawa.
Now, I'll share with you the topics that I want you to discuss in your groups. So don't worry. Before I say anything, any question regarding what I've taught? I've taught 2 topics. Any question? Any questions? Any questions, class? Or any comment regarding what we have discussed or contribution? Yes, Bahati.
Daktari, you are doing a good job. We are understanding these things. Thank you, and continue with that spirit.
Welcome, Bahati. And also thank you. These are simple things.
Doctor, I have a question.
Please, Priscilla, go ahead.
What are the objectives of this unit?
But I gave you notes, my sister. You can't even read the objectives.
Hata ziko.
I gave, in fact, ilikuwa kwa group yenyu. You know, I'm in your group, so when you lie, I know. Please, don't even say that. The objectives are there. The course outline are there. Please, Priscilla, be attentive. Yes, the notes are there. The objectives are there. Course outline, everything. Maybe I'll just resend for your sake. Maybe you are not in class.
Priscilla in DM.
Daktari.
Yes.
And you told us to press a registration number. I think groups have not yet been formed.
Groups have not been formed.
Yeah.
So what do we do? Because you know, if you don't formulate groups and you don't do the assignments, my friend, you'll have a missing mark. So do it for your own good. Don't do it for Yegon. Do it for your own good. Please.
What about if you have an online card? I have a comment.
Okay,
What about
James.
the card?
No, James, you have said something. Yes, James?
We were the number
can't
is
hear you.
around. I'm saying we were told to copy paste our name in the group, so the numbers are almost 180. And Yegon said that the first 20 will form the first group, then number 21 up to 40 will form another group. So in that way, the groups have already been formed. So we are just waiting for the questions to be discussed.
But I gave the topics. I gave the topics.
We have not seen up to now. They have
Yegon
not.
anajua. Unless he was not in class again. But anyway, don't worry. I'll form again and share with you. I'll give you the topics. Because you were supposed to discuss like 4 or 5 last topics.
Noted.
Thank you. What else? I hope we are doing well.
Why can't you just use the previous?
Hello, doctor.
Thank you, Virginia.
For my concern,
yes, go ahead.
For my concern, if we say from number 1 up to 20, one group, it will be difficult for us to meet. So if you want to find a person, you can look for him or for her almost 4 days or 5. So, yes, doctor, I am a doctor.
Talk to your class rep concerning that.
Okay,
discuss
sir.
with him.
Okay.
Nyinyi ni senior bwana. I cannot start planning for you.
Doctor, what wanasumbua?
If they disturb, they'll get a missing mark.
Okay.
Don't put someone who disturbs.
Okay.
You just leave him or her. Just leave him or her. In fact, Divina has done some very good job. Thank you, Divina. Divina says that it was from topic 6. Well said. That is true. Now, from slave trade, 19th slave trade, partition of Africa, African response, national liberation movement, and independent Africa and the world. So those were the topics. So class, do that assignment. Hizo ziko ngapi? Ziko 11. Mnaweza amua mgawane kwa groups, muone venye mtagawa hii group ifanye hii ingine hii, pengine group 5 zifanye number 7, group 3 ifanye partition, group 4. Alafu we can meet before we close school tukuwe na presentation. I hope that is in order. When are you closing school?
On 19th.
Yeah, now before 19th, calendar on 19th. Now you see that week. Tarehe 15 hapo 16 17 tunaweza patana, you present those topics, each group we present, then we end it at there. Meanwhile, it was good teaching you for today. I'm remaining with 2 topics that I'll teach. I am planning to teach the 2 topics next week. Then the other week you'll do presentations. Then you go and prepare for the examination as you go home. And presentation, yes, that will, Brian, that will be the cut. Unless you want another cut. Yeah, that will be the cut. So kindly prepare, think, and do the assignment. Na msiseme tena hamuna, ndio hizo. Plan. Then you know, just know you'll present. Someone is saying I give you online cut. Maybe next semester I'll do that. Because right now I have a lot to do, but next semester I'll give you next semester I'll not be with you. I might be outside the country, but when I come back, September, I'll give you an online cut. But meanwhile, let us just do a group work. Then in future, I'll consider online cut. Does this earliest inhabitants still exist? Yes, they still exist, Enoch. The earliest inhabitants, they still exist. However, they have been absorbed by other communities. Some of them have gone extinct because of intermarriages. And now they give birth to children that are Masai, Kipsigis, and these children start speaking Kipsigis or Masai or Kikuyu. So yes, they still exist, but they are minority, very few. I hope I've answered you. Good. So if there is no any other question or comment, or Danny is saying something, let me see. If possible, will it be earlier than date 15? No, it cannot be earlier than date 15 because you can see calendar, unless you can do it online. You can also do it online, but earlier than date 15 is impossible because from 8th, I think classes will be online. From 8th, 9th, 10th, classes will be online. And you know, I've been trying to organize classes, makeup classes, but it has proved difficult. I think you guys are very busy. Otherwise, if you can organize for me even a class, maybe on Monday very early in the morning or Thursday very early in the morning, then I teach in the afternoon, or afternoon I come to the school, then we do a presentation, that can be better. So just see how you can go about it so that we finish this course by next week, Thursday. Just organize. If you organize for me, I'll come. I'll be around. Tutakuwa trip. Mambo ya trip wacha tuongee polepole. Maybe we can talk about the trip from September. I'll be away from January. I'll not be in Kenya, but let's talk about the trip from September. Guys, thank you. Thank you for joining this class. Let's end it at that place so that you can think and analyze what I've taught, and let's prepare for our next class, which I'll teach about ancient civilization of Africa, and also the societies, the modern societies, the language groups, the Bantus, the Nilotes, and etc. Then the other topics, prepare, read, and prepare for the presentations. Otherwise, thank you and have a good day.
So bye.
Utagonga.